Well, I guess we ain't talking. We can't talk about.
Hey y'all, so we had to do a part 2 due to the fact that my baby woke up, but this down to earth, so it is what it is. I'm gonna hold her and we're gonna finish up.
She's asleep though.
Yeah, she's asleep. I'm gonna just hold her. We still fine. We're good.
And if she wake up, we
got it. It is what it is. Y'all know I got babies, so. So finishing up what we were saying, having the conversation about you dating, and if you guys kept up with the first part of it, that she was talking about when she was with a guy and about the cigarettes and all that stuff. And so I was just going to add to that because you had said to give you a second so you could finish that up. I dated a guy. I'm not the type of person to buy things for a guy, and I caught myself buying this guy a book bag. I was younger. I was about 17, 18. Caught myself having this little boyfriend, and I never really bought anybody anything at all, actually. And I bought him something, and he got upset. The strap broke or something, and I promise you guys, he dragged this bag up and down my mother's block at the time. She remembered that, and I told myself at that point, like, I would never buy nothing for anybody unless he was genuinely going to be somebody I thought I would spend the rest of my life with. And my husband's the only person to this day after that I've ever bought something for. But it taught me something. He was very ungrateful, and after that we didn't continue a relationship or anything like that, because to me it showed me that he was bitchy, whatever. It showed me that you were ungrateful, and it showed me that you had absolutely no respect for me. Because if you had respect, your anger that this bag that I purchased for you that you wanted, and because the strap broke for whatever reason, instead of you being more concerned with, oh my God, my baby just bought me this, let me go try to get this fixed or explain so she know that I didn't, that something happened. Your thought process was, you bought me this cheap ass bag and you dragged this bag up and down my block. Legitimately. There's no reason for me to stay with someone like that, because it's showing me already a lot of signs. You throwing temper tantrums. It was too much for me. And to this day, that same individual that I'm talking about ended up on World's Dumbest Criminal. Oh, he ended up on World's Dumbest Criminal. I won't say who it was, but I'm not gonna say who it was. No, you cannot. Okay, yes, it's down to earth. Okay, so the guy that I'm talking about, the guy legitimately walked into, I won't say the name, but he walked into Dunkin' Donuts. He robbed a lady at Dunkin' Donuts and then returned the money the next day, I guess, after he felt bad. And he actually ended up on World's Dumbest Criminal.
And wanted the lady to give him a hug because he was apologetic. He's scaring the shit out of her.
Yes. But now, to someone who dated him longer, and he does have children and things like that, he has children and he's been going on with his life and everything, but he has not been in a steady relationship. And I do believe it is because of those things I'm naming. There are attributes about him that if you are a particular woman looking for a particular man, he wouldn't be someone you're looking for if you're looking for someone with some form of maturity. Someone's out there for him, but it all depends on what you are looking for. So I said all that to say, to someone else, you just like, oh, chalk it up to you. I was just young and dumb. He didn't know no better. He didn't know how to handle his emotion. Well, now we're almost 30 and he's still not handling them. So that was who he was. That is his makeup. You know what I mean? I don't know. Have you had incidents like that where you were like, even if you look back on it and that you're like, if I was thinking, I could have been able to tell back then that he probably wasn't somebody I should have talked to.
No, because I'm out here living my best life. I'm just being honest. Nah.
Well, she got married too.
Really. I got married really young, very, very young. I was 19 when I got married. My kid's dad passed away in 2009, and I've been single and just living my life. I've been in, let's just say, fuckboy relationships. That's the key word. Fuckboy meaning some bullshit ass relationships. Some living you learn bullshit relationships. And I'm learning and I'm living. Every day is a living and a learning lesson, and I'm living every day and I'm learning.
She's living her best life.
And I'm definitely living my best life. Do I regret anything that's going on in my life right now? No. Do I miss my husband? Yes, I do. Because he was definitely a good husband. Definitely a good husband. I didn't want for nothing. Very good provider. Financially, mentally, physically, everything. Very good husband, father, everything. All my kids are from him too. So, but out here now in these streets now.
That's what you're looking for.
Out in these streets now, you got to look at the red flags. And red flags is not blind. They're not blindsided. They're not blind. They're going to walk in the door with them red flags. Mm-hmm. Don't be blindsided to none of it, because they're walking literally in the door. It might be a little bit of kiss on the neck and then a peck on the cheek and all that, and peck on the forehead. That always gets me. Man, I got blindsided for a second, but then it started coming to reality. But then again, like she said, the love just started, outbalancing all the bullshit behind it. Mm-hmm. And I just started seeing, okay, he loved me, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm going to work through this. I'm going to look past that. My heart got deeper and deeper, my love, my strong. So I started putting all the bullshit to the side, not realizing that this nigga on bullshit. But again, what I live and I'm learning right now. And the best key to any woman can just say is just live. To live. And I really can't really say it right now because it's just like, I don't know.
Proceed with caution.
Proceed, definitely. And that's what sister girl was telling me, sis right here telling me, proceed with caution. And don't be stupid about it. And don't act like no nigga woman. Don't act like no nigga woman. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I act like one.
Which when we say that, well, when she says that, it basically don't be ignorant in a relationship, and that's too. Like if you are holding on to someone, or like in your instance, where besides your husband, you're really not finding someone, don't come across a good person and then start doing ignorant things because of the choices that you chose to be with someone, 5 or 6 other people that weren't technically the right person or somebody, and then now you get someone that's semi good, or you like seeing things, and then you start doing wretched extra kind of things that make that person completely turn off. Like, no, I wasn't looking for that type of woman. And you're only acting like this because you're trying to build a wall. Like, I'm not going to get hurt again. The easiest way to me to not get hurt is to do what she just said. Proceed with caution.
And know your worth.
Signs. And know your worth.
Know your worth.
Definitely know your worth. Know
what
definitely.
you're willing and what you're not going to accept. So you don't become a bitter woman.
Yeah,
you don't become a woman who accept anything. Man. So in life, you must learn what makes you happy. It's not about that guy.
It's definitely not about them.
Because if you pick the right one, he's going to know what makes you happy.
Definitely.
And that's what I found. And that's what keep me going for the last 30 years. Because I didn't accept any and everything. I knew my worth. And I know what I was going to accept and what I wasn't going to accept. And basically, this day and age, as women, you can't accept anybody in your world. No. You got to know what you accepted. And for those who really look at a guy who if they want to take care of a man, then they accept that that's what they want. But for that woman who don't want to take care of a man, then once he show you that that's what he is, you walk away, because you have to know your worth. And if your worth is something bigger than that small thinking, meaning that's man who want to just sit on the couch and watch videos, then you let him go. Because the more you stay in those relationships, the more bitter you're going to become. And like she said, what's going to happen when that right man, when you finally leave, when that right man come along, you so bitter now that any little thing he's doing, you looking at him under a microscope like,
What you up to? What you up to?
It's exactly.
Like nothing.
But to keep yourself from becoming that, just have zero tolerance. And that's how
Walk in the door with that. Walk in the door with that.
Walk in with what you will and won't accept. And I'm going to be honest, I have a friend of mine, and you guys know, I've mentioned her before in my previous video that I was having a discussion about not waiting around, and I mentioned to you guys about my friend Bundy. She is currently in the process of, she's about to get married, she's engaged, and I loved her dating process. Like, for me to look at her and how she date, to someone else seeing it, if you are not a woman who is ready to be stern in what you will and won't accept, then you can't follow what I'm about to tell you. But she is the type where immediately, if she didn't like something, he could be a good guy. And if she said he's a good guy, but he's just not a good guy for me, she is not the type to say, well, just because you are a good guy, because we can come across good guys, and they still may not be the good guy for
That's
you.
Trench coat
but you come,
really
but
when
you
that coat come off, it's a whole different person.
But no. I mean, like, you can genuinely find a good guy. I don't think that Bundy has ever dated a guy that I've known that wasn't good. Like, every time I meet someone that she is just dating, just going out on dates with, I'm like, he's a really good guy. But if she personally felt that he's a good guy, but that's still not what I want, she will never force herself to say, well, I'm going to stay with you because you're a good guy. Because in her mind, I know my worth. I can come across as plenty good guys. She doesn't have that stigma that, like, oh, man, it's going to be forever before I find another good guy. It's like, no, if I'm talking to you, you better be good. But she was waiting for the right one, and she has him now. and treats her like a queen. She treats him like a king. But the point of the matter is she never settled. She actually was talking to a guy she was with for months. They were practically sort of kind of living with each other, spending the nights, had brought him around her son and everything. And one day she just said, I feel like he's trying to be the man I want instead of just being himself and letting me decide if he's the one I want to be with. And it's crazy because the same guy she was talking about, he actually came over. We had a big party, and there were other people that picked up on that. Like, hey, he kind of really is not himself. He's always trying to act a certain way because she was there.
He felt
and
that's what
she wanted. So as good of a guy as he was, she left. She was like, you are not yourself. And if you can't be yourself, then I'm not the right woman and you are not the right man for me. And women need to learn to be that way. It is okay to be alone for some time. It is okay to say, this is not what I want. It is okay to be with someone 2 years and then wake up one day and say, I don't want to waste any more time. Don't get caught up in time because you don't have a whole lot of time. You don't have 15 years to spend with the wrong person just to meet the right person. You could have spent half of that time
and possibly cut across. Time wasted is precious to me. Time wasted is very precious.
It doesn't make sense, yes.
And that's the worst feeling ever is wasting my time, wasting any woman's time, wasting your men's time too as well. Like I said, it pretty much in the door if this is the man you really want to be with. I mean, it's not a red flag. It's just pretty much if this is the person you want to sit here and say, okay, this is the man I want to be with for a minute. This is the one I want to find myself chilling with and falling back for. You know what I'm saying? And you start seeing them red flags, then that's when you start looking like, okay, what's going on? You ain't got to make that move of moving in. My biggest mistake was in relationships was moving in so fast and moving fast. Everything don't have to be a time limit to everything because you might not see the red flags till a year after that. Then here you go, you stuck, moved in, did all this and everything like that. Now you ready for this man to leave. Now you don't put so much into it. You don't put money, bills, time, kids, family. And now here you ready to walk out. You know what I'm saying? So I say proceed with caution, move slowly because ain't no time limit to none because your heart, it's going to take a long time to heal. And the worst feeling ever is to break your heart and the trust. And when trust is gone, there's nothing else left.
Yes, I agree. I do want to say something to my ladies who have probably had this issue because it's very, very important. And I'm talking about specifically, none of us will know about this. I'm talking about physically abused. And the reason why I say that, I'm not that type. I'm not, but I do want to say this. I've never been there either. But there are no judgment to you guys, but I'm just going to save a couple lives real quick. You have a story. It was the gentleman that you were talking to, and you believe he was testing to see how far he could go to put his hands on you.
Oh, God, you trying to make me bring all my stuff out.
Well, yeah, because this is down there. We got to save somebody.
He was only the second guy I ever talked to.
She pulling out all of them. Come on.
Okay.
We got to
opening all the skeletons in the closet.
Well, we have these conversations and we're down to earth. We're hoping that someone's watching this and then they say, that just happened to me the other day.
Somebody trucking and that's a sign. Friend.
Yeah, and when she told me the story, it's actually the signs that I looked for when I was dating, that if you did those things, I was
why you ain't tell me not saying that? Because I think they was real intimidated by me because I be whipping ass, though.
So you got to tell them about the story.
Okay, I was about 16. A year younger than the last situation.
It's getting younger and younger.
And he was close to my age, okay? He was 18, maybe 19, maybe 21, somewhere in there.
This woman in somebody's closet all the time.
But grandma wasn't at home. Shut the hell up. Okay. Now, he had a friend, his cousin he was abusive with his girlfriend at that time. So one day, he used to tell me how he wanted me to act like his cousin girlfriend. And she was the type that was submissive. Whatever he asked her to do, she would do it and yada, yada, yada. So one day I go over his house, we watching a movie, and he started punching me in my arm. So he hit me, he punched me in my arm, and I punched him back. So I was like, boy, quit playing. So he did it again. I hit him back. The third time, my head rattled a little bit, but it
rattled?
It rattled, girl. It was like, boom. I was like, oh. So I ain't punch her back.
Did you feel a little wind when it did?
Yes, it was.
Was it fast? Like,
it was like, boy, the wind was like, I was like, oh. So I was like, I had stopped playing the punching back and forth because I didn't think I could match his rattle. So I was like, So I remember the conversations, even in that moment, what he was saying about his cousin. and how he wanted me to be like his cousin girlfriend because he was abusive with her as well. So as as my head coming back to the reality, I was like, oh, he's testing me to see if how well I possibly one day can take ass whoopings. And excuse me for scratching my head, but that's how I was scratching it, back then. I was like, and the motion like thinking, how do I get the fuck up out of here? Because I'm realizing at this point, he's trying to see if he can start whooping my ass so I can become submissive. So I I stopped playing fight with him. And after a couple of hours, I got my stuff, and I was like, well, boo, I'm about to go. I'll see you later. And he was like, yeah, the next ass whooping gonna be. But that's probably what he was thinking. Wait till you come back. If you think that was some shit, wait. But I wasn't waiting on that. So once I left, I never went back. Because I realized at that time, he was testing to see how far he can go. And Teresa, don't take ass whoopings.
Yeah, me do a shanty. I don't.
May God rest my mama's soul right now, because before she died, every time I would go visit her, I thought about them ass whoopings, and I couldn't do nothing because that was my mama.
So
and
that was the
last ass whoopings I was gonna get, and I was like, every time I said like, "Hey, mama, didn't forget them ass whoopings," but I wasn't about to take an ass whooping from a man. Yes. So, ladies, this is how they test you, and you got to be able and ready not to pass that test. Because you don't pass ass whooping tests. You pass college tests, high school tests, tests to get into the military. Those the tests you want to pass. Test to get into a job. Test to get into a job. You don't pass a man's ass whooping test. See, once you get out, you never look back.
So you failed that test successfully?
Oh, I was like, F for... Fuck you.
That was the best F you had in your whole life.
The best F you ever? That was the best F I ever had in my life.
The best F you had in your whole life.
Yes.
I agree. And for anybody that is watching this, because no matter what, we never know who's looking, who's watching.
Right,
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you all have too. I've come across memes or a video where I felt like it was speaking directly to me. And at that moment, I was like, oh, I feel this. I'm going through something.
Had that,
so if you are currently right now have been tested, on that level, whether it's play fighting or if you're currently in a relationship
and you accepting those A's and B's, it's cool, but you got to get out and take that F real good.
If you are accepting that right now, the only thing that I can say right now, especially if you have children, and I'm only giving you this out of nothing but pure love, I'm gonna tell you something that your family members, if you've told people and you probably haven't, and especially if you have children, the best thing I can tell you is this: stop being a coward. For your children's sake. If right now you are getting abused, I don't care how sneakily you got to do it. Because I believe that there's guys out here, they willing to kill. So you probably like, if you got to tread it like, I don't care what you got to do. If you got to take the next 2 months, getting your police reports together, packing little stuff to the side, taking a little money here and there. But at the end of the day, do everything you can to get yourself and those children. And if you don't have children, get yourself out of it. Because at the end of the day, it is nothing more precious than life. It is the only thing you cannot give to yourself, and you have no control when you no longer have it. So you don't allow someone else to make that life of yours miserable and unhappy for something they didn't even give you. They don't give them that much power. They didn't give you that. And that is across the board. They don't care if it's verbal abuse, mental abuse, whatever it is. If you are unhappy right now, let today be the day that you say, enough is enough. I don't care what it is. It don't have to be getting your butt whipped. It can be completely unhappiness. If you've been talking, if it's just not working, whatever it is, today is the day that you say, okay, it's time for me to get up, and it's time for me to do something to change my life. And that's just being honest. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No, I pretty much
do. You? Okay. Well, I'm just going to say, I love you, but I say this every time I end my show. So, like I said, please be nice to the people in the comments and like, share, do what you guys need to do. And remember, opinions are
subscribe.
Subscribe. Opinions are like assholes. We all have them. And just please remember that we all are imperfectly perfect. Love you guys. Peace.